If you watched this show called Patal Lok, which was set in Nagaland, then you'd have heard this particular soundtrack and a song called Aladdin, which is by this person sitting next to me. And he is a rapper in his own right who has been rapping for more than a decade now. And he has this very unique lineup of songs, which I had the fortune of listening to yesterday. And Moko Koza, hi. I just am so thankful that I could actually get to meet you after listening to so many of your songs. So let's start with how did you start rapping? Because it is not a genre that's very, very popular in Northeast. Now it is getting popular, but I'm sure when you started, it was not the case.
So yeah, first off, thank you for having me. And to start off with my journey, started off since I was in high school, and then punk music was the thing where like a lot of the fashion trend and all people following, and at that particular time, even hip hop was booming, and especially with Eminem's music, with this new album like the Eminem Show coming up and 8 Mile movie and all. So I, with the environment that I was, placed in, I slowly got introduced to hip hop. And then, yeah, this is how I started my journey. And then, I started following my idols, Eminem, Lil Wayne and all. And then gradually I, got into my own songs. I started writing my own lyrics and all. And this is how, I got into rap.
Okay. So there is one thing about Northeast that is not only a negative stereotype, which is actually a good stereotype, that in Northeast, all of us are inclined towards some form of art or the other, right? We have ministers whose videos go viral when they are on guitar. And generally, we have an environment where music does get a lot of space. But the other side of it is that every state, every community in the place has had a very, very long journey towards reaching its identity, towards reaching even statehood, if we look at all of the history. So how much of that, along with the fact that there is people are musically inclined, we have our own community songs, folk songs, festivals. How does this question of identity play into your songs and lyrics?
So when I was starting out, rap music was, and there was a very small community of people who were into hip hop.
Right.
Majority of people were not very familiar with rap music also. And then when it all started for me as a hobby also, and then just slowly developed into passion. And then as I something that I was doing as a hobby, but along the line as I was maturing also with my thoughts and how I was writing my music, I felt like this is something I wanted to do, and then I needed to find a voice. And then I felt like I had a responsibility, because people listening to me also, they look up to me in a way where what I was saying maybe impacted them in some way. And this is how I gradually I found my identity through music also.
Okay. So when it comes to infrastructure, one of the basic issues that I think in Northeast, especially growing up as millennials, well, I came to Delhi, Delhi would be that destination, right, for a lot of kids, because the education was not very expensive, especially if you got into a Delhi university. The accommodation was affordable compared to a lot of other places, right? And the distance-wise as well, you had trains, trains, the Rajdhani would be very helpful, right? And because everything happened in Guwahati, for a long time, everything centered around Guwahati and Assam, right? Even when we're talking about Northeast, everything would end up going towards Assam, right? Now, I do see that is gradually changing. The change is slow, but it is gradually changing. But what do you think when it comes to just basic infrastructure for music in Nagaland? What do you think needs to improve a lot?
So what I feel like you said, it's gradually developing and it's coming to, but I feel like we need better music industry, getting linked up with major labels and all. I think that is one division that we are facing right now, where why the music is not going out there very globally, nationally, and all. Yeah, I think that's one thing.
So there's news, right? I think last year it came out that A.R. Rahman wants to set up. Yes. There is a lot of talk. Do you think that would actually be a big push in terms of space?
Of course, someone a legend, A.R. Rahman coming and interested in Nagaland,
right?
And then setting up, I think a world studio or something he has recently set up, and
right.
then is curating bunch of young kids,
right,
under his mentorship. And then so someone like him and big in the industry coming in, that would help propel the the industry.
Right. So one more thing, since I started out with Patal Lok, right? Like one thing, when even I was talking to the creator of the show, Sudeep. Now he's again from Assam. He's grown up. So one of the things that I asked is, so a decade or more of OTT in India, and yet we had not had like a lot of shows from Northeast, right? We have very limited shows. Like you can count on fingertips how many shows there are there. But when something like a Patal Lok comes up on a bigger platform, like on a very national level platform like a Prime Video, then let's say your song becomes part of the soundtrack, right? And so many faces that you see, not just from Nagaland, of course, but like across. What do you think it also does to basic people changing, the changing of the basic idea about a particular place? Do you think it really helps push ki, okay, we had all of these ideas about Northeast or how people are, and they are being shown as they are, right? They're not being whitewashed ki, oh, it's all only happy there, or it's only a lot of problems there. It's a mix that's being shown, right?
So yes, for something like Patal Lok and all like happening in Northeast, I think it breaks the stereotype of the Northeastern people, also what like the outsiders think about us, because we have been called like headhunters, and people still believe that if you come to Nagaland, we're gonna chop off your heads. The stereotype is still there,
right?
But yeah, but like we were headhunters back in the days, and the last headhunting was in the year 1970. So it's been a span of long decades now. So, but people still like, up Nagaling Janis ito, abibi saru katay or something.
Yeah.
People still have that. So
right.
For something to like a big series coming, and then Nagaland in the Northeast and showing the place, and we're just like, everyone is just same only, and then we don't chop heads. We don't do that anymore.
So, okay. So, one thing is that, like Patal Lok aside or Rahman aside, right? Of course, those are things that are happening now, right? So, on a local level, on a very, very, immediate level, are there enough like events? For example, one thing I have again seen in the last few years is there's a growth, there's an explosion of music festivals that has happened a lot, right? For example, I think I had covered actually Zero back in, I think, 21 or 22. So, I traveled from here. And even for somebody like me who stays, like who's from there, actually the journey itself was very like a revealing process, because you take a flight, then you take a train, then you take, and also that experience of not like a music festival, but it is very, very rooted in the way people live there. It's not trying to create an environment where it is completely oblivious to what is happening on ground, right? And then now there are multiple that I have seen. Does that help, like for musicians? Does it actually finally provide a space which was absent before?
Yeah, of course. Like for like big festivals, like in Cherry Blossom in Meghalaya, Shillong, and then Zero Festival and Hornbill Festival. Like this creates more opportunities for the local artists also, because all these festivals have gone like national, global also. So like we get to perform on these big stages, and then and we also get to connect with artists not only from the Northeast, but people coming in from the mainland and outside India also. So like it's like a great linking up thing going on. Yeah.
So networking as well.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll come to some of your things that you played yesterday, actually some of your songs, because since I was there, I would ideally like to, talk about the experience that I've had. So I know Poisa has been one of the songs which have really been very, very popular. I think it came out before 2018 or around that time? 17, right. So it also talked about corruption, and it also talked about like the basic problems which have actually not changed. Not in Nagaland, it's same in Assam, same in Meghalaya. The corruption, but also unemployment, and how the youth are getting sucked into other things because there is this all of us. Just I wanted to ask, how did that song come about? So that I'm sure a lot of people would want to know, because they've not heard or they would want to listen. So tell me a bit about the song, the idea.
Puisa was written back in 2017 when I was in my college, and then I thought of like just trying out Nagamese rap, because I've never done that.
Right.
So like I thought about like writing a song about money. So what do you think about it? Like when money comes to your mind. So there's a good side of money also, but bad side of money also. And there were a lot of things for me to say on the song. Like we can talk about corruption, and then our love for money, and the greed that we have for money. So I just tried like a little bit sarcastic and tried to be a little funny also, but at the same time leave a message on that song. So I mixed up everything. maybe I was thinking about what was going in my society, but it can relate with the other society everywhere.
Right.
Yes.
So, say again, Nagamis, for example, if you speak Assamese, you can sort of understand some of it, more or less. Or if you speak Nagamis, the same goes for Assamese. But that is not necessarily true of every language there, right? Like, these are close by, but otherwise, if you are from Assam, it not necessarily you'll understand something that's spoken, let's say, in Sikkim, right? Which, again, a lot of people think it's just the same everywhere. I want to know ki when you wrote this and it became fairly popular, like everybody knew about this song and they started realizing, oh, there's this guy who's written this song. So did that help you think like, oh, why should I not, maybe write more in my language? Or did you think that I can just mix it up? Or like, what were your thoughts when the song became very popular that should I continue in English? Because yes, the other thing I was telling to somebody that for a lot of us, English education happened because of actually missionary activity. Otherwise, in a place in all of the Northeast, since there was so much of issues with militancy, I don't think schools anybody else would come and establish. I am a product of Don Bosco, and a lot of people that I eventually met were all products of missionary schools. But English became very, very like a part of our growing up fairly quickly, is what I understood over time, right? So is that one of the reasons why writing in English, or did you think, oh, should I shift around, play with Nagamese, mix it up a bit?
So yeah, like basically I started off from English also, and then once I started in Nagamese, like it not only reached up to the youths, but old people,
Right.
because older people, like they can't understand English everywhere. So like when I put out songs in Nagamese, they could understand what I was trying to say. So I just thought to myself, like, why not I write in Nagamese for a couple of years, so that like I can just reach out my message out there, not just to the youths, but the young people, like young kids and old people, so that everyone can understand also through my music, like just trying to send out that message.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even though music is a part of, I mean, I'm talking from my experience. I mean, I learned art, for example, painting for a good some time. But at the end of the day, parents end up going like, no, 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 government job, or, you need to study and all. Did it happen in your case? Because you started writing very early and, you were still in college and then you started writing a lot of stuff, performing. So what was it like initially when they realized, oh, our kid might end up taking it up as a career?
So like when I was, in my high school, my parents always told me to, like, maybe they brainwashed me also to become an army doctor.
Okay.
So like I did my class 12, and then I actually like got an opportunity to study medical.
Right.
But that time I was like kind of confused also, because I've never studied outside. I was just
Right.
comfortable in Nagaland only, where I was studying. So I just made up my mind that I just convinced my parents that I would just study here only. I don't feel like going outside. And I took up BSc, bachelor's in anthropology. And what I would think, like, I think taking up anthropology, like, it helped me a lot, because the subject, it talks about culture, like the social, everywhere in the society and everything. So I think it also like helped me a lot in my music also, because my side of like what I was trying to do with my music was also like just trying to talk about people, the culture, and connect with people, and like just getting it out there. So I think it correlated, like went hand in hand with what I was studying also. And right after my master's, parents, they always wanted us to like just go for government jobs, right? When you prepare for exams. But I just told, like, please trust me, and I'll never let you guys down. But I think this is what I want to do, and then let me try it for some 2-3 years, and if it doesn't work out, I'll come back and I'll study. So I think it went out pretty well. I'm still here. Like,
how long ago was that? Which year was
that
this?
was 2019.
Oh,
yeah, so it's been almost 6 years, 7 years.
So do they understand the kind of stuff you write, or do they listen? And I'm just asking because a lot of parents are like, okay, what is our child? Because my parents often don't.
I think they're used to my lyrics sometimes, because in some songs I use vulgar words also, like profanities and all. So they're used to it now. So yeah.
Okay. So how would you describe like the time when you were in college, right? You said that studying that subject was... So tell me a bit about your college life, apart from just studying, because that's the time when you started writing, actively doing. So what were the other sources of inspiration, about friends that you had or not had? I'm not sure, but just...
So yeah, in my college, like just besides studying, we would have these programs and all. So I would always like convince my senior, please give me the stage to perform, because I wanted to do away with the stage fright.
Right.
I want to perform in front of like thousands of people. So in our college, we had like thousands of students. So like I would just request my senior, please let me perform, please let me perform. And I think this is how I develop myself as a performer also.
Right.
So yeah, college life also shaped me as a musician. Not only like study wise, but as a musician also, it helped me like propel to like take that next step also.
So, for example, yesterday when you were performing, there were way too many people I could see. They were right there, almost right up at the stage, and they wanted to like interact with you and all. So, did that happen over time when you were like, okay, if it's a very like interactive or sometimes even rowdy crowd, I'm sure there would be all kinds of crowd everywhere. So, what does it take for you to keep calm and then like, okay, I need to keep performing? And is that something you've developed over time?
Yeah, like sometimes like it's nice to have rowdy crowds also, but sometimes you get distracted.
That's
because
why,
like, when you're trying to rap, like they keep talking to you, so you just want to ignore, but you can keep hearing their voice. So
Right.
like I try to like just ignore them, move that side, and sometimes it gets a little irritated also when you're performing.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for like sharing so much of your story. And yes, if you are somebody who's interested in rap and you want to see what a lot of different voices from India are doing, I would urge that you try out rap, you try out people from Northeast, because a lot of interesting stuff is going down there. And I always think like music is a great entry point to learning any culture. So I would urge you to listen to not just his songs, but a lot of the other songs that are coming out from the region. This is Tina Das. Thank you. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our social media handles as well for more such stories.